Peace, love, and balance, everybody. Peace, love, and balance, y'all. It's your girl Isha, the goddess of wisdom, also known as Goddess on the Rise, the Copper Queen, the Flower Hoodie Queen, bringing this sacred energy exchange to y'all. All right, y'all. So it's Jupiter Day. Happy Thursday, y'all. I know I think the new moon was Tuesday, and y'all, I ended up getting a migraine. I think it's a combination of the Mercury retrograde, the Cancer season, and remember the Mercury retrograde is in Cancer, so Mercury retrograde in Cancer, Cancer season, and then it was a new moon in Cancer, so that's a lot of water, y'all. So look, I have been resting up for the last couple of days because that migraine made me like sick to my stomach, and y'all know how I love to eat, so I wasn't able to eat, and I was like, that irritated me. So I just actually been nursing myself back to helping resting up, because and I'm still resting up, honestly. But I wanted to come on here and get this message out before the message passes by. By the way, y'all, I just posted some new services that I'm offering. Y'all know I've been telling y'all about the services that I have been offering that have not been on the menu. So I finally updated it. I didn't list them on here. They're on social media. You can check my on social media where you can tag it at the top. You can look up that and look at it. But I did add that I do hoodoo readings now, and I put on there my ancient Kemet readings. If you want an ancestor reading, you still have to contact me separately. I didn't put that on the menu because, once again, that's one of them things. If I'm asking you to get an ancestor reading, I've had people, if I say ancestor reading, they think they can ask me to summon some type of lord or some type of Egyptian deity. And no, if I do an ancestor reading for you, it's going to be a blood relative for you. So that means it needs to be somebody that's passed away from your immediate family lineage, not our distant relatives, okay? And I have to make sure that, so that is still off menu. That is still off menu. If you want to, you can always request it, okay? All right, y'all. So also I'm be doing my cartomancy reading today. All right. I like these because it has the moon on the back. All right, and that's the energy we're about to tap into to deliver this message. Before I get started, I want to show y'all some new things I got in the shop. All right. So some new stuff I have in the shop right now are these mortars. Okay. This is so you can crunch up your herbs. And y'all can see it's called root work and conjure. Okay. So look, get you a mortar, and look, I love that it has roots and plants all around it, giving you that energy. And as you like doing your root work, to whether you doing some crunching up some herbs to put in a food, to do some kitchen witchcraft or kitchen, culinary arts, or doing it to bliss a mojo bag or give an offering to your ancestor, when you work these roots, it's a power in this, y'all. I have one myself, so now I'm selling them and get you there on my website, goddessontherise.life. And then we have my new money drawing candles, and they smell amazing. Ooh, it says this is, what's the flavor? It says it got frankincense and lemon. All right, frankincense and lemon. I can smell it too. All right, it smells good. All right, so y'all can get these if you want to draw in money right now. I know economically things are tough. All right, so we have the money drawing oil too. I have the oil too. Thank you so much. We got the money drawing oil if you want to get that with it as well. I have a lot of money drawing oil because I feel like that's popular. Everybody want money, right? So the money drawing oil, and then also come money incense. Look at that. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who is that? Amon, thank you. So look, come money incense. Y'all know y'all need to, and remember, y'all, if y'all doing any type of ancestor work, you gotta pay offers. That's nothing. Even if you're not working with ancestors, y'all, if you're doing any kind of cosmetic, universal work, even or nature magic too, you have to leave Mama Universe some, offerings too. So that means burying something in the ground for her. Make sure there's nothing that's gonna destroy her, obviously. But yeah, you still have to leave those type of offerings, y'all. So look, y'all, we have, I'm just pulling a couple things. We have gold incense. I was like, I know y'all wondering, what does gold smell like? You gonna know until you get it. But it smells great. Like this stuff right here, how they be getting it is amazing. This smells good. It smells so rich. Yes. Get you some gold incense, okay? Gold incense, y'all. And then we have some rose incense. Look, yes. Rose incense. Yeah, I know rose is helping you. It's the frequency of love. Roses, okay? Highest frequency of love, okay? Roses. And then we have, look, I think I showed these. I may not have, but love and sex. Remember, this is the love and sex instance. I don't believe in practicing them without each other combined. Okay? If you're gonna do it, they need to be together. And then hold up. This new deck I got in. I got another deck coming in. I already posted it in my store to advertise it. But y'all, this is a new dark arts deck for my dark arts. All right, Nocturna Oracle deck, and I love it. Look, it has, I'm gonna show you a couple of the cards. You got the hyena in there. It has different things. It's like, look, the moth in there. So it's like it's a dark arts theme. So if you're not a dark arts person, you won't get it. Look, the Geico, and you're gonna have to know some, like, you're gonna have to know some animal symbolisms and stuff. Look at the grasshopper, the mountain lion. Look, they got the mountain lion, which we don't really have none of these over native to here anymore. Hold on. Oh, the bat. I like that one. Look, even Nemo in here. Okay. Look, even Nemo in here. In the anemone. Scorpion. It's a pretty good day. It has, I know I'm pulling all the animals, but it has nature symbolism in it. And it has a lot of, look, the night sky. So it may be a cosmic message coming through if that card came up. Shells, look, a moonstone. So yeah, if you're into these type of messages, it's like a nature based, it's like nature. Look, the owl, geoid, crystals in there. It has a look at that. I like that dawn. This could be like a timeline. Something is going to happen at dawn. I actually like it. Mushrooms on here. I actually like the look shark. That could mean you're in danger. You see what I'm saying? So you have to, and I do leave a description on this. Look, snake. Somebody may be going through a transformation or shedding, letting go. So I did give a description of this deck on my website. These are in stock for you to purchase now. I have another deck coming. I have it listed as out of stock right now because I don't have it yet, but I have ordered it and it's en route. And it's called the spiritual messages of birds. So how they're, like, what it means when you see them, and it's like a different species. So so I described how that's very, if you do not know, the Copper Queen is indigenous Cherokee. So that was our message. That's why they were saying birds of a feather flock together. And we used to do the bird call. Even Birdman and Wheezy F Baby doing all that stuff. The bird call. That's where that stuff actually came, because we used to make sounds like birds to signal stuff to each other. We knew how to communicate like the birds because we literally used to study the birds. So we knew, we watched them if they ever got into fights and what sounds they made before a fight took out, all that, y'all. So it's time to get back into our indigenous roots, y'all. It's time. And one last candle I'm gonna show y'all is going to be the magic spell candle. Now this candle is like a universal purpose candle. It is whatever magic spell you want to do, you can use this candle. Okay, and it's orange, so it's the color of creativity. All right, remember creativity, art, all that. So that means you can cast a spell on your singing career, and making sure you can cast on your poetry career, your book career, writing a book, anything you want, love life, all. It's like a universal one. You can use it for whatever you want because it's a magic spell candle. Okay, so yes, that is that. I think that was everything that I had to show right now. I did do another live show on some stuff. And don't forget about the Witches Conjuring Festival. I've been passing out these flyers everywhere. When I'm vending, I am still seeking vendors if you want to sign up to be a vendor. Okay. I know it's been some people that don't know that I, as a melanated hoodoo, I do not believe in people that are not it's an African American practice. So no, I will not accept you if you're advertising that you're a hoodoo and you clearly are not African American, indigenous American, black, copper colored, all that stuff. Okay. And remember, I told you about the closed practice of hoodoo. Everybody that's copper colored or brown or black does not mean they can practice hoodoo either. So that's another thing. I will not allow false representation either way. Okay. Either way. All right. So look, sign up for that. Remember, this flyer is not listed on here. You have to go to my website. Or excuse me, yeah, you had to go to my pages, like my social media page, Facebook, Instagram, and all that to see that. All right. And then before I get started, I want to show y'all something I just got the other day doing a book swap. It was, look, it's called the Fires of Jubilee, Nat Turner's Fierce Rebellion. Now, look, I don't think it's a coincidence that I got this book where I was at. Okay, I was doing a book swap, and I've gotten several books from them before, and they just be having a lot of great books. So what you do is it's free books. It's free books, but the only thing is the least you can do is put back in. So if you got some books that you're done with that you can donate because you took another book, you donate. And I donated, I'm donating some books, and they got clothing swap too, so you can do clothing swap. So the last time I went, I got some clothes from them, and then I dropped off some clothes. So I put it back in this book, and this said established it. It's what is it? 1975? Yeah, copyright 1975. So this is one of the older versions. Look at the pages, like them old pages, like yeah, that paper. So I feel like I know what book I'm gonna be reading for Hoodoo Heritage Festival. Let's ring the bell on Nat Turner Day. Cause yeah, Hoodoo Heritage, we have Nat Turner Day. Yep, Nat Turner Day, and we celebrate Nat Turner. It was a horrific event that took place that he started rebellion that was necessary for his freedom and his people. And yeah, if you do not know the story of Nat Turner, they got the birth of a nation. You can start there. All right. So look, that's all I'm gonna talk about right now. I'm gonna get started on the ring. So I'm gonna ring the bell, get us into my spirit. Earth, air, fire, water, spirits, the universe, most high, high, seven spirit guides, a balanced light, ancestors known and unknown, a balanced light. Please come into this space and provide as a message for the Cancer New Moon. Islam and Hotep, y'all. So here's Islam and Hotep, y'all. So y'all, I got spiritually led to literally start focusing more on using cartomancy versus tarot. So yes, that's also, I took tarot off. I do have certain specialty decks that are not that I will use. So I still will use those decks, but I'm not using the traditional rider weight deck anymore. Okay, like the ones I got, one of them it's like for the it's the Egyptian thing, so it has the Egyptian deities on it. I got another one that's like a hoodoo tarot deck, then it has our ancestors on it, and I'm trying to think of another. I got a bone one too. So if I do give them, it will be it was gonna have to be on a deck that I choose. I tell people, y'all, this is spiritual warfare, and this is rebirth, this is ascension. So when you get guided to go in a different direction, you're supposed to trust your ancestors and trust that you're working with the correct ancestors and listen. Yeah, I actually started off with cartomancy. I didn't start off with tarot. I started off with fortune telling, but tarot was what everybody was so used to, and it was people that when I was doing cartomancy, they didn't want to get readings. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to get readings. So I learned tarot later on after I learned how to do cartomancy first. I started off with cartomancy. And I was like that. And then my answers was like, that's over with. All right. So look, y'all, I got cartomancy readings. Y'all want a book? They're the same. They're actually, since I added on there the ancient Chime readings, I changed the price. So cartomancy readings is now 111 like my tarot readings were. And the ancient Chime reading is 144. Okay, I changed that. Okay, so that'll give y'all, it's similar. All right. So thank y'all so much for listening. Let me hold on. One more shuffle. All right, I'm gonna cut the deck and I'm gonna deal the cards out. I hope we get a good message, y'all, because like I said, I didn't want to do this reading while I wasn't feeling well. Obviously, channeling, I may hurt myself even more if I would have done that. Okay, so here we go. Remember, this the moon deck. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Good sign. Great sign. So this is the Queen of Diamonds. Excuse me. Look, see, I'm so used to tarot. This is the Queen of Diamonds, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Money coming in. Some queen is on her throne, in her bed, not focusing on nobody else but herself. And if she is focusing on anybody, it's because they're adding to her, not taking from her. So if they're not adding to her, she is not giving them the time of day. She knows her worth. This ain't about just physical money. She knows her worth, and she knows her time, present, and attention, and love and appreciation, and just her very existence is valuable. All right, so she's demanding respect. Like, this ain't no game. She's not letting people play no games with her. And if you even try to play games with her, you're gonna play yourself, because she is cutthroat. Let's ring the bell, okay? She is cutthroat. I know this is the earth energy, but this is giving me some sword energy, but she cutthroat, okay? And honestly, her being in this energy is why she's so abundant, okay? I promise you, women, when you value yourself and carry yourself that way, and don't play. Okay? If you are still struggling with insecurity, self-worth, you need to get the help that you need. Go out there and get the help that you need. Everybody has to start somewhere. It's not about looking down on yourself. It's admitting that whatever happened to you, you don't feel like you want to feel about yourself and you need some help. Okay? Reach out to me. Book a read with me. I tell you, I got some Oshun candles. I don't have one, but you need to light that Oshun candle and call Mama Oshun to ask you for her assistance. Okay? You know what I mean? Remember cultural appropriation, because Oshun only helps melanated peoples. That's just what it is. She only helps melanated people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to work on that. Raise your value, okay? Light them gold incense. You feel me? All right. For spades. All right. For spades, it's gonna be some. This is a swords energy, air energy actually, air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. This is about stability and security. So somebody, it's been some instability in your life recently. Okay. A lot of it was spiritual warfare. A lot of it was envy and jealousy being sent to you. All right. A lot of it was people like purposely outcasting you, or even some of it I'm getting not even necessarily just outcasting you, but they're like competing with you. You know what I'm saying? Or even trying to be you. That's weird. You gotta think of how that works. So sometimes when people are competitive with you, they try to start copying you and doing what you do. And you got to think, a lot of people like that tend to have the bigger crowds, because people that's on a high vibration, their circles always tend to be so small. And a lot of people that's on a lower vibration, a lot of times when they have friends all over the place, they tend to be on a lower vibration. So anytime they start doing stuff, because they got people of a larger number of a lower vibration following them, they start thinking this person is cool, and this person, they're blinded to the fact that this person is copying somebody and they not even being genuine in it. So something like that is going on, but all this stuff is starting to get exposed, okay? All this stuff is starting to get exposed because people's true colors are starting to come out, and it can't be hidden no more. Y'all, this is the age of Aquarius. The secrets is out. You know what I'm saying? The secrets is out. And then we have the Five of Clubs. All right, Five of Clubs is going to be some fire energy, Leo, Air, Sagittarius energy. Yeah, it's time for change too. Like somebody with this five coming out, and it's a fire energy. Something got you fired up recently that you're like, I mean, you're ready to burn bridges. Ooh, somebody, you burning bridges now. You know how that saying goes, I don't rebuild bridges I didn't build. I mean, I don't rebuild bridges I didn't burn. You may not you may not have started the fire or whatever. Like I said, you may not start the fire, but you finished the fire. Let's ring the bell, okay? Look, as that book came, look, the Jubilee fires. You may have not started the fire, but you finished the fire. That's the message I'm getting. So you know what? They want to start this flame. They want to start this fire, and you gonna finish it and make it an explosion. Yeah, people need to stop playing with you, like for real. They learning their lessons quick and permanently. And they didn't want to learn this lesson. But see, you got some people out here, y'all, and this is unfortunate. You got some people out here that would literally, when they think they figured you out, that's the worst part about it. They think they figured you out. So from a toxic place, once they think they figured you out, they try to use that and abuse it and manipulate this, thinking they got power over you. And they learn quick that you was never somebody to be played with. Okay? They thought they had you under their thumb, under their finger, under their spell, until you showed up and showed out and burnt this stuff down. Okay? And it's time for those kind of lessons. Stop giving people multiple opportunities to play you. As soon as you see it, burn it down, cut it off, whatever you got to do. And that's another thing. See, I'm in a place like this. And so this, I know this is the new moon energy, but I think this Mercury energy, because it's in Cancer, is coming into this Cancer new moon and all this energy, okay, in Cancer season. So this is the truth, though. The truth is, see, look, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. But look, the point is, stop letting people play you. That was the big thing I was getting at. Stop letting people play you. People think they can play you until you end it permanently. And that's why I'm about to say some of this stuff, even after they correct it, say they come back and correct their stuff and try to apologize. Apologizing is not enough, because you want people to have true and real intentions the first time. Let's ring the bell, okay? All these people that's trying to come around you and test you. See, instead of them just being a good person to you from the beginning, they figured, let me figure out how I can play with them and see how much I can get away with them, like where I can really go with them. And so they rather be a jerk first. They rather be a bad person first instead of just being a good person. Them people, do not give them two chances. Those are their true colors, because people like those tend to have enemies. And if you give them another chance and befriend them, and people, this is how it works. People be wondering why you're getting treated better than they got treated by this person. But that's because you had healthy boundaries and you didn't allow it. And this person, once they realized that you weren't going to allow it, they didn't do it anymore. Okay. But I'm telling you, you don't need to associate with somebody that operates in manipulation, games, taking advantage of people, lying from the get-go. Like, their first impression was toxic, and you think it's going to change just because you gave them a second chance. No, it's going to change temporarily, because they realize all they got to do is fix it and say sorry. So they may take a longer time before they do something again, but this is their behavior. They're going to do it again. It's time to cut them people out from the get-go. That's what time it is. That's what I was getting at, okay? It's time. Ain't no more of this letting people have 10 and 12 and other chances to do wrong by you. No, them times is over with, okay? All right, so look, next card coming in is going to be a 7 of clubs. All right, 7 of clubs, fire energy coming through. This is some more Leo, Air, Sagittarius energy. See, look, exactly. So number 7 is about perfection, giving and receiving. It is associated with luck as well. So somebody, you realize now, if they give love, you give love. If they if they start a fire, you gonna start a fire. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying become like the people that try to harm you. No. But somebody, you're definitely in an energy where you are reciprocating energy. Honestly, in a balanced way. In a balanced way. Like, if somebody lied to you or took advantage of you, obviously you don't talk to them anymore. Say, man, they need to get blocked. They need to lose access to you. Like, it's time to be extreme, because they can hear. See, people hear actions, they don't hear words. People are so weird these days. People hear they hear actions, they hear what you do. They ain't hearing what you saying. You could say all day that I told you this, I told you that, I told you I don't like this, I told you I don't like that, and they like, yeah, I hear you, but you ain't. But look, they want to play games, like, you ain't done nothing. Yeah, you saying a lot of stuff, but you ain't doing nothing. That's why it's time for action. It's time for action. So you spoke up. I ain't saying only act, and you spoke. You need to still do both. This is it. Don't be like them. You need to communicate in voice that I told you this, I told you that, and since you didn't hear me when I told you these things, let me show you what I'm working with. Let me show you what I'm working with. That's what time it is. But always communicate. So they can't say you didn't tell them, because that's nothing. If you just up and do stuff and they like, you never told me, they can't even say that now, because you told they A and you showed they A. Let's ring the bell. They can't play them games anymore. You told them and you showed them. And once you had to tell them, once you had to show them after you already told them and they could have kept it simple, leave them alone. Leave them alone, because they think you're a game and you just had to show them how it's played, and you don't need that energy in your life. It's not healthy. You don't need somebody that you got to constantly feel like, I got to watch this person because they may try something. That is toxic. And it's honestly a stressful relationship. You don't need to be around somebody that you don't trust and you can't trust. They have proven that they cannot be trusted. Because the Ace of Clubs is coming out. That makes sense, because this is about a new beginning. See, because you made this fiery move, you about to have a fiery new beginning, baby. Right. You know what I'm saying? See, how you allow yourself to be treated is how you treat yourself is how you're going to allow people to treat you. So when you treat yourself better, people off rip going to treat you better, because they going to hear about it. Man, he or she cut me off over this little bitty thing right here. Don't cross him or don't cross her, because it don't take much. Exactly. People love to know how far they can go with you, unfortunately. It's so sad. It's so sad that people can't just do right the first time and just have a pure heart and be a genuine person. No, they got to test to see how far they can push you over, take advantage of you, treat you bad, okay? And it's terrible. All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. My phone is actually on, it was on vibrate. I want to take that off. Okay. But yeah, they want to know how much they can take advantage of you. They do. But now you have set the tone. You don't get multiple opportunities to do me wrong. As soon as you show me your true colors the first time, I'm gone. Somebody done set the flame and set the tone. Those don't ever play games with me. I'm not a toy. That's the energy you putting out here. You are not a toy, and you are not a game. Go get a board game. Okay, go get a board game if you like to play games. Or go get your Xbox. Go get your PlayStation and play on that. Go get your instrument. Matter of fact, okay. It's not a game around here. Seven of spades. See, seven of spades. Somebody you've been cutting people off left to right, and they are in shock. All right, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, they are in shock. They're not used to somebody having strict boundaries like this. See, they have been used to getting away with their toxic behavior from people because the majority of people that they deal with tolerate their toxicity. A lot of them don't know no better either, and they're used to dealing with it from other people in their life. So they're stuck in a cycle right now until they met you. See, now they realize that everybody ain't dealing with that stuff. Okay, everybody's not dealing with their mess. Everybody's not dealing with their chaos, and everybody ain't about to give you second, third, and fourth, and fifth chances. Okay. So this person, actually, whoever this message is for, whoever you are, if you are this person that cut off somebody or been cutting off people, you actually are helping people. They're very disappointed. That's the thing. They're actually hurt because they knew. See, that's the thing. People don't play games with people that they think are weak necessarily or stupid. They just play games to see if you got a low self-esteem, or you may be a bit of a pushover or overly kind or a people pleaser. So they purposely take advantage of people that got kind hearts. That's why they're doing it. And they just hope you don't know your worth. And that's how they been. A lot of people don't know their worth, and then they let people like these people get away with it. But somebody they didn't realize, oh, you know your worth. You're not messing with an amateur over here. They learned today, and now they're gonna learn how to. Now, because of what you did, it's gonna set the tone because they're gonna be scared of losing people like that. Because now they're traumatized. Somebody, you about to actually give somebody a healthy trauma. You traumatized them when you cut them off. You broke up with them. You ended the friendship. You ended the relationship. You ended the business ship. Whatever you ended with this MF, or you ended it, and now they cannot believe it, and they lost something good that they really, really cared about, and they didn't know how to treat you like it though. And now they're gonna be like they're about to sit. They're gonna have to change their ways because they're not losing anybody else. And now this is the worst part. Now it's gonna be people that they're gonna be treating better, right? That as you should, because you should treat everybody with respect and love, But now it's gonna be a whole bunch of people they got to keep around that really they didn't really want like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want people. They really didn't want people around that they could take advantage of. They really didn't want people around that was intelligent and smart. But now that's what they're about to be stuck with. Low vibrational people hang with low vibrational people. Queen of Clubs. Let's go. Fire energy coming through. Queen of Clubs. Leo, Air, Sagittarius energy. Okay. Exactly, Queen. This queen is confident. This queen is on her throne. This queen absolutely knows her worth. This queen is not a game. All right. You can watch one on TV though. Okay. It ain't me. All right. And this queen knows herself. And she's on a mission. That's the message I'm coming out. She's on a mission. So anybody that's standing in her way, attempts to stand in her way, or tries to block her, you gonna get knocked the hell down. Oh, woo, woo. You gonna get knocked the heck down and cut the F off permanently. She don't even have time for blockers. Because her energy is everything to her. Her energy is how she actually magnetizes money, business, positive relationships, positive connections, beauty. You know what I'm saying? Positive experience in her ritual and magic work and all that stuff. So she's not about to just be letting anybody and everybody in her energy and thinking you're going to turn her upside down and stuff. And what? No. No, exactly. She's on the money. 10 of diamonds, y'all. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. She's about her money, okay? She's about her money. And she is about, this is the message, this is about a completion of a cycle, right? This is the 10 energy. She's about building. See, this is more new beginning energy. She is about building. She's about building, but she wants to build with people that she knows ain't collecting a bunch of enemies because you done played your way to the top. Played your way to the top, lying to people, stealing from people, taking advantage of people, manipulating people. She don't want none of those kind of connections. She want noble people in her circle, literally. And she can tell a noble person from some chaotic, like, somebody in a low vibrational energy. Okay. She knows the difference, all right? Because they're not going to be abundant. They actually struggling for money. They always stressed out about money. All right, they speak like they broke, you know what I'm saying, and they act like they broke. I tell people being broke is not just about financially being broke. It's about they speak negative all the time. They always got somebody's name in their mouth. They a liar. You know what I'm saying? That's a broken person. So broken people tend to be financially broke. Okay, not all the time. Don't let that fool you too, because sometimes people that got a lot of money are be the most negative people, because money doesn't make you a better person. You choosing to be a better person does. You can't buy authenticity. You can't buy nobility. You can't buy righteousness. You have to be it. Okay? So look at all that, y'all. Ooh, wait. Eight of hearts. Eight of hearts coming through. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, baby. Somebody, you're about to be infinitely loved. You already are. You already are. It's because this you radiate this infinity love for yourself. Like, you love yourself, and people know that, and they've never met somebody before. I feel like you are a rare breed. Whoever I'm talking to, whoever this message is for, you are a seriously rare breed. Like, you are not somebody that's walking around wherever you are on the regular basis. You're like a one of a kind. So they thought they could mishandle you, or think they can handle you, and they played they self. That's what I'm saying. And you're not like anybody else, and now they wish they would have just done right by you. Okay, but you're about to be, you're in an infinite love, abundance of love coming through for you. All right, you just like open the doorway for the love that you've been operating in. See, that's how it works, y'all. If you're not operating the love that you want to receive, you're not gonna get it. So whatever love you're operating in is what you will eventually receive. Now, this doesn't mean, like I was just explaining, people that won't try to come into your life and try to treat you less than. That's going to happen from time to time. But eventually, once you continue to push, push, push for that self-love, self-respect, knowing your worth, putting yourself first, not allowing people to play games with you, like literally keep that energy up, people are going to continue to drop like flies, and they're not going to be able to survive you, and you're going to start ascending into different directions that they can't keep up with, and they can't even come with you. That's how it works. You got to stay on top of it even when people come at you, and then before you know it, you're going to be out of their territory. Somebody was talking about the reason why, somebody posted this, they don't run into their ex anymore, because where they're at, their vibration is so high, their ex is nowhere near. Exactly. And that's how that works. Once you vibrate so high, it's you don't want to be in environments. You can feel it from 10 miles away. Your ancestors will give you signs and stuff to not go in this direction. You see what I'm saying? I get signs all the time. Like, don't go there. They'll tell me, don't go to that event. And then I find, and that's something, I trust my ancestors. So afterwards I found out why. I'm like, oh. So that's another thing. It ain't that I second guess them, but later on, once I listen to them, they'll show me why I wasn't supposed to go to that event. It was somebody there that I didn't F with. You know what I'm saying? That's how it worked out. All right. So we had the Jack of Hearts. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Jack of Hearts. So this is can be a symbolism of like a new chapter, a youthful energy, okay? But definitely it's some kind of new chapter. A new chapter. Somebody, you are repairing your heart right now. That makes sense. Somebody, you're literally repairing your heart right now. Your heart was traumatized and really damaged and destroyed at a very young age. That's the message coming out. At a very young age, you got let down by people that you should have never had to experience being let down by. You got neglected by a bunch of people, more than likely it sounds like your relatives, that you should have never had to experience this. So you had to learn what love was all over again. You had to unlearn what you was taught love was, which it was a very toxic form of love. And you had to relearn love from a healthy place. And actually, somebody, you had to raise yourself on what love was. Because see, once you had been through all that toxic love and people that you done be, so that's another thing. This is what's so important about a rebirth. See, the past once you have your rebirth, you do go through that shadow work or self-reflection period, the mirror effect, and you start realizing the stuff you used to deal with that you no longer will deal with, which is why your friend circle goes down when you go through rebirths. People that you have been friends with could have been 10 years you stopped dealing with because you realize you're not that person anymore and you won't tolerate those behaviors anymore. So as you become change and you're no longer tolerating stuff that people are used to you tolerating, it traumatizes you and triggers you in ways that you cannot deal with. You're like, it doesn't feel good because you like, I already been here before. I used to deal with this stuff when I was younger, or I used to deal with this stuff back in the day. I'm not dealing with this mess now. That's trauma. Your trauma will remind you you already done been there, done that. Are you really about to keep dealing with this or start back dealing with this just because it's somebody else? Yeah, so your trauma is really your safety blanket, your safety net, your covering. Because it's not about letting it have a space in your life to where you're letting it prevent you from having positive experience and meeting better people. But it is about when you run into people that you know are not positive people, knowing how to say no, cut it off, and move around. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. Ooh, 9 of Hearts, hold up. 9 of Hearts, thank you. The love is flowing. Thank goodness. This is the water energy, fine. So remember, we're in the future. So we done hit the past, present, and now we're in the future. So the future is looking real good for you. And you got you to thank. All right, this is the 9 of Hearts, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Yes, somebody you are going to get pregnant with an actual child. That message is coming out. You are going to get pregnant with an actual child. And you're going to be ready for this. Don't worry, you're going to be ready for this. You're going to be a great mother or father. You are going to have a great parental system with their parent. Okay? It's going to be healthy. Okay? It's going to be loving. And it's going to be an adventure. Okay? And it's going to be a learning experience too. So that's what came out. Somebody about to start a family. This is a new beginning. Somebody, you about to start a family. Are you ready for your family? I will like, so if you didn't come from a healthy family must come from you. That's the message. And your ancestors are helping you with this. They're the one that's repairing your heart right now. They're the ones that's helping you. And it sounds like somebody asked. Somebody, you've been through so much trauma and so many bad experiences that you asked the universe. You've been speaking like, I cast all demons outside of me. Any demons associated in my bloodline that may have got transferred to me through birth and blood lineages, I banish and destroy forever kind of stuff. Speak them spells, baby, okay? Speak them spells. I work with uh the book of Psalms, book 119 and verses 113, starting there, it's a good spell in there that says, depart from me, ye evildoers. Yes, okay? Depart from me, ye evildoers. Speak them words, y'all. Cast these demons out. Let's just keep it real. It's not that you're a demon, but we have had some demonic people in our blood lineages, okay? Let's just keep it real. We've heard too many stories. Cain and Abel, Set and Osiris. You know, it's so many stories that Peter and Jesus and Judas. We have had blood relatives, and people that are distant relatives that do us the most corrupt ways. So you don't realize that this stuff is, and they were still, some of them people were still a part of your family tree. So their spirit, unless you really cast them out, can be in y'all's family. So, and trying to even reincarnate itself. See what I'm saying? So you got to protect yourself from that, okay? Banish these spirits. Send them to Anubis. Send them to Anubis, baby. Send them to Cal 4, okay? Send these dark spirits away. Because the king has returned. Oh, and that's how you know it's a pair, baby. The king and the queen of diamonds came out in the same reading. You about to have a baby. Okay, y'all, but this is the Holy Trinity. This is Isis and Osiris and Horus energy coming out. Without the story, but this is your Holy Trinity coming out, okay? King of Diamonds, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Somebody definitely could be an earth sign, so maybe somebody that's a sun, moon, rising, or Venus earth sign is going to be being aligned to you, okay? And this is your king, all right? They don't think that any Virgo Taurus and Capricorn to approach you as your king or your queen, but they're down to earth. How about that? They're down to earth. They definitely are rich. Like when I say rich, they are financially secured, stable. They got their own money. They have confidence and security within themselves. They're caring, giving, supportive, the things that really count. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio at the bottom of the deck, the King of Hearts. Yes, and that's why I said they're loving. And most importantly, they're ready to love you. So I'm being, I can actually feel this in my heart. They've been ready for you longer than they whole life. They went down. So this message is coming out for this king, this masculine. They have been down a dark road. They have gave up on love in their life before, and they totally was like F love. Because of whatever they've been through, the failures they kept experiencing in this department, they actually went through that period where they was like F love. They was probably being more promiscuous than normal, but and purposely being heartless. That's what I'm getting. They wouldn't let nobody get close to their heart. They wouldn't give nobody the time of day. They wouldn't give nobody the benefit of doubt. They looked at everybody like this is all a game. And I'm gonna just get what I can get temporarily. And that didn't work for them. Because at the end of the day, especially because we're going through these planetary shifts and stuff, they started realizing that I deserve better than this. I don't have to keep allowing myself, because either way, I'm still dipping and dabbing with these different women and stuff. And if I'm out here breaking hearts or playing all these games, all this energy is going to eventually come back and hit me like a ton of bricks. So they've been going through that right now. They've been going through their karma. Anybody they've been hurting and playing games with and lied to and took advantage of and used and all that stuff, they've been paying. They decided to go through their karma because they want the gift of going through this karma, which is you. They learning all their lessons and everything right now. They had to take losses, and they went through this so they can get with you, Queen. Because they realized that, look, it ain't the best thing I can get out of this world is my queen and my children and my legacy, okay? Which is this Nine of Hearts. So that message came out. Let's see. Let me see. I feel like that's the message, but you know what? I'm gonna pull from my moon deck. Yeah, it's a little hot in here. I just got hot. I feel like when I get hot like that randomly, especially while I'm channeling, it must be a high spiritual presence here. And look, this is cartomancy. This is cartomancy. This is fortune telling. This is totally different. So I'm gonna tell y'all another thing. There are certain ancestors and even angels or spirits that only can communicate through certain tools. That's another thing. So that's why I say you got to know who you work with. So me as a fortune teller, my ancestors were practicing with the playing cards and stuff like rune stones, and they were following the moon, and they were following astrology and all that stuff. So you had to work with the tools that the spiritual ancestors worked with when they started these practices, or else it's harder for them to communicate. So you may be thinking you're communicating with your ancestors, and you communicating with some ancestors, and that don't mean they're bad, but they're just not the direct ones that you want to communicate with. Okay? See what I'm saying? They may be having to go to another ancestor and be like, tell them this for me, and paying debts and stuff. And that's something, if you ain't even feeding them on the altar, if they needed another favor from another ancestor, what you got, you ain't giving them what they need. So feed them too. So that's nothing. If you're gonna be using other tools that, which I don't recommend, that they didn't use, you better at least feed them so they can leave. But don't make them work that hard. Just work with the tools that they ask you to. Don't make them work that hard. So they shouldn't have to go through a third party ancestor to get to you. What the hell? The hell is that about? Somebody ancestors just said that too. So work with the tools that you're supposed to be working with. And if anybody has a problem with it, they're not for you anyway. Don't worry. See, don't get too caught up in the money. See, I already been through it. I was doing tarot because that's what everybody was doing. And they just stopped me recently. Like, no, you're not doing that. They either going to get this cartomancy reading or oracle reading, or they can go on. See what I'm saying? And you don't want to mess up the connections you got. You don't want them to leave because you won't follow instructions. All right? So look, moon reading. Thank y'all for listening. That was a serious message. They do not play. They do not play. I actually got mad. Y'all see how I got mad as I was explaining that? That was the energy. They wanted me to know this is important. All right. Here we go. New moon in Virgo. And look, this is the new moon in Virgo. Even though it's not a new moon in Virgo, but this is still a new moon card. So this is a good sign. Virgos, listen up. So it has the Earth's practicality. This is a time for practicality, organization, and attention to detail. Use Virgo energy to focus on your goals and plan for success. So yes, this ain't a time to be playing around. This ain't a time this ain't it's a time to be planning strategically. So I'm saying, and being organized. Like I just cleaned up. I got a trip I'm planning. I just started going into like how much it would cost to get there and all that so I can know what I'm working towards. You know what I'm saying? I fed my ancestors today. Sat with them today. I actually redid some stuff. I redid my grits bag and a mojo bag. Something you gotta think, you gotta check in with your spiritual work. Sometimes the energy of those bags expire and it's time to make another one. You know what I'm saying? Keep your house clean, all that. But it says to focus on your goals and plans for success. This is time to focus on your goals. And it sounds like your goals is going well, but you need to focus. All right, here it is. It's called prenumeral lunar eclipse. Prenumeral lunar eclipse. So it says illuminating shadows. It has just as the moon illuminates the night sky, the eclipse illuminates the shadows within us, highlighting aspects of ourselves that we may have overlooked or suppressed. So this just means that this is about somebody need to do some shadow work. If you have not done your shadow work, you should, y'all. This Mercury retrograde has been forcing us to do shadow work, and I promise you, I highly recommend you do shadow work. See, shadow work is good for you because you say you got some demons you fighting, and you do not like these demons. These demons are not yours, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So you can have the worst feelings in the world right now because there's some demon attached to you that's putting this on you. It's not really you. And if you don't do your shadow work and admit that this is there and ask the correct ancestors to help you, the demon is going to win. Okay? So admit that this energy is here and it's something that you're going through so they can banish it and get rid of it. And that's what I'm saying. That's what this is about. So we got right here, but do the shadow work. Do not suppress it because it's going to come back. And it's going to come back worse and worse if you don't get the help that you need and do the work that you need to rid your body of this demon and banish and cast this demon out for real, y'all. This is serious. All right, so you got to embrace the power of introspection and to trust in the wisdom of your inner self. Okay, yeah, trust, and this is also going to help you trust yourself because you can't trust yourself when you lie to yourself about something. If you lie to yourself that you got a problem, you ain't gonna trust yourself because you're lying to yourself. That's why you don't trust yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. So once you start being honest with yourself about the good and the bad aspects of yourself or the things that you need to work on, demons you need to get out of you, that's how you learn to trust yourself because you was honest enough with yourself to get yourself the help that you needed. Okay? That's a message. So we have the full moon in Aries. Fire energy again. So we have the warrior's fury. Embrace your inner warrior and stand up for what you believe in, using the full moon's illumination to gain clarity and strength. Okay? Yeah, stand up for what you believe in. Okay? Stand up for what you know is true to you, true. And I tell people, stand up for the truth. Because sometimes people stand up to what's true for them, and the truth for them is still a lie. Stand up for the truth, okay? And then it got illumination to gain clarity and strength, okay? So this is gonna, yeah, it's illuminate so you can gain clarity and be stronger, okay? Accept the truth and be illuminated. And then that's how you become strong, okay? That's real strength, truth. All right, partial lunar eclipse. Y'all been going through these transformations. This is two eclipse cards. So y'all been going through some rebirths and transformations, and it's been a lot on y'all. I can feel it. So it has right here partial lunar eclipse, the veiled moon. A time of introspection and reflection. Use the energy of the eclipse to connect with your inner wisdom and intuition. So yes, they're telling you to use the energy of the moon and the eclipse energy to do self-reflection and it got connect with your inner wisdom and intuition. So yes, I had to take a little break myself from like doing like reading. Like I'm a reader, I'm an avid reader, like reading books wise. Like I just told y'all this book I just came across, right? And I hadn't been able to read because I was checking in with my intuition and I was checking in with my inner wisdom and doing a lot of self-reflection this Mercury retrograde. So sometimes the universe will block you from being to focus on other things because that's not what you need to prioritize right now. I'm serious. Like it'll block you if say you're a writer and I don't know, well, you can't write and you just seem blah. That's because they telling you, no, you trying to avoid something right now by pouring into something else instead of focusing on what you really need to focus on, okay? Suppressing or numbing or disregarding things. So they're gonna do that. They're gonna take another thing away that you enjoy, and you ain't gonna be able to even do it because you ain't focusing on something else that you need to focus on right now. Okay. So look, full moon in Capricorn, bottom of the deck, full moon in Capricorn. So it has the goat's ascent. Now celebrate your accomplishments and progress while also recognizing the importance of balance and rest. Using the full moon's energy to honor your hard work. So yes, it's time to celebrate, okay? Somebody you haven't really you've been celebrating it the way that you can, but somebody you're gonna have to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. It says right here, celebrate your accomplishments and also recognize the importance of balance and rest. So celebrate, but remember, stay on top of things and get your rest. So you're gonna have to learn how to have a good time, stay on top of things, and get proper sleep. Praise the universe. That's long life, y'all. We can't party and be irresponsible and then your business falling apart because you forgot to focus on your money while you're having fun. And we also need to get proper rest in between celebrating, having fun, kicking it, traveling, business, because all that stuff is still over. It can be traveling can be overwhelming. People have talked about how exhausted they are after trips, especially when you start traveling outside the country and different time zones. So you got to think you go to another side of the world, it may be dark over there, but it's daytime where you're from, and your body is still set to the sun time that you've been on, sun and moon time you've been on, and wherever you're living at. So that's what I'm saying. You got to learn how to rest. Somebody you are needing to learn. This is what you're supposed to be learning right now. That message came out for me too in another reading. It's time to learn how to rest. You must learn how to rest, or you're gonna drain yourself, and you're not even gonna be able to enjoy yourself because you may even get yourself sick. People that don't get a proper rest get sick too. All right. So somebody, the message is you need to get the rest. You need to get rest. All right. Uh, I'm gonna pull from this Egyptian deck that I haven't pulled from in a while. Spirit is telling me to pull from this deck. I thought it was another deck, and I might pull from another deck after this one, but this is the one. If anybody that knows me, that's been following me since I started this channel, know this is like the first Egyptian deck that I had, and it's beautiful. It's like one of the first. It's an oracle deck. I love this deck. I ain't pulled from it in a while too, and I'm like, where you? My ancestors actually get me right. Like, ma'am, you need to get back on track. You done been over there long enough. Let's get and I believe. Let me tell you something. I truly believe that they allowed me to do that because they understood what I was going through. But now they're showing me, they're redirecting me. You're in the right direction now. Now you can get back on track. You know what I'm saying? So look. So this is an Egyptian oracle deck. Okay. And by the way, when you get an ancient Kemet reading, this is the one of the decks I will pull from. Okay. I have so many now. I have so many. Thank y'all for the hearts. Thank y'all for the likes. Yeah, I have so many now. So when I do the ancient Kemet reading, it's going to be several that I pull from and do a big reading. Okay. A big reading. Here we go. All right. So we have, oh my God, my aunt. Time to balance it out. Somebody, you are being judged by my aunt, and your heart is light as a feather. She trusts that you know what you're supposed to be doing and who you are. She's proud of you. Mama proud of you. She really is. She know you have been battling some serious demons, and you instead of you trying to be all big and bad and try to think you could do it by yourself, you called upon her and she has answered. This is your confirmation that Mama Ma'at has answered your request and is fulfilling your request because you put in the work too. You didn't just ask her and put the money or food on the altar and didn't actively go do the shadow work, then actively go get the therapy and stuff. That's another thing, y'all. Your actions is not going to be just specifically working with your altar and giving the answers to offering. They know we live in a different physical world here. So like me, I tell y'all about any therapist that doesn't have a therapist, I don't recommend you work with them. So even me, I had a therapy session this past Sunday, with my therapist, checking in, getting myself the help that I need based on where I currently am. Because as you get better and better, you still need to continue getting the support and help that you need, whether you got a life coach, a therapist, a spiritual practitioner that you work with that may be a bit more advanced than you, which would probably be an elder. You got to do this work. But if she don't see you actively, and that's another thing, I'm gonna tell you another thing. See, a lot of people, you don't want to pay nobody else, and you ain't gonna do good with that. You ain't gonna do good with that because you want somebody to pay you, but you don't want to pay nobody else too. So that's another. I had to pay people to help me. I have a counselor. She not free. I had to pay her. You know what I mean? I have a male and a female that I work with, and I pay them. So you can't just expect to get help and never have to invest in the help that you need. You're going to have to invest. And that's where she blesses you too, because you cared enough about yourself to pay for yourself. That means you know your worth. Okay? If you don't even want to pay for counseling, you don't feel like you deserve it. And why should she give you money when you won't even invest in yourself? Because you know what I'm saying? We better pay attention. Was WAZ. But hold on, I want to read that card. I was so busy caught up on her. My art is truth, balance, and order. She's truth, balance, order. So that's that's your confirmation. So was this card is leadership, master of negativity. Exactly. Somebody, you have mastered negativity. You have mastered negativity. You refuse to be negative, and you refuse to hang around negative people. That message came about. You refuse to be negative. You refuse to hang around negative people. Negativity cannot even live in your mind, body, spirit, soul, or around you. So that includes if other people are negative, you run away. And you run away, and they can't pay you to stay around you. Because you operating in my art. So you operating in my art. Of course you don't master negativity. My art is not negative. You know what I'm saying? That's why she gave you the rules and regulations to follow to stay in divine order. So your heart will be light as a feather. Ak, AKH, it's some kind of bird. AKH. And y'all, wait till I get that bird deck. It's a lot of bird symbolism in ancient Kemet too. AKH, it says higher mind intelligence. Okay? Somebody, you really tapping into your higher mind. You taking off. Okay? Thank you so much, Jay. Somebody, you are tapping into your higher mind and you are becoming so intelligent. So you're in your higher self. I do got some white candles, and white candles symbolize the chakra above the crown chakra, actually. Okay. It's the crown chakra and your spirit chakra. It's called the golden star, I believe, chakra or something like it. And it's white. It's over the crown chakra. So y'all, somebody, you tapped into that. That's your God energy. You tapped into that. Because you're getting messages directly from the Most High. Somebody, you done became a god or a goddess out here for real. You see that? That's right. Somebody, you may need to start wearing white. That message came out. You're currently in an ascension. And I know you may like wearing other colors, but right now you need to wear white. That's the message. White is going to help you in this ascension. That's the best thing you can do right now is wear white. Remember, that's why you always see all the old people in the Bible always wearing that white robe. You know what I'm saying? So get that white out, okay? All right. Oh, look. Oh, man. I forgot about this. I forgot to, so here we go. We got Hugh. Hugh, H-U. This looks like a 9 to me, or a snake too. Somebody, you can be going through a transformation, new beginning, fertility coming through. So let me look that up. It's called Hugh, H-U. This says, ooh, breath of God, inspiration. What? And what did I just say about somebody that's tapping into their higher intelligence and then became a god and a god out here? Yes, the breath. It says the breath of God. Let me look at that again. It says the breath of God and inspiration. Somebody, you are literally getting inspired by the Most High Mother and Father. Like for real, you have the breath of God. Like the messages you're channeling, or whether you're downloading them and hearing them and channeling and receiving, is a God and God messages. God's is talking to you. I know we like to say goddess, y'all. That's, my company is called Goddess on the Rise because that was differentiating a male god versus a female god, and that's fine. But even a goddess is a god. She's still a god. That's why God is in it. So this is God's. Male and female gods are guiding you, protecting you, covering you, leading you. And you're off default operating like a god. That's why you pulled that leadership card. You pulled that, what is that other card? You pulled that leadership card too. Let me see. I gotta look again. It was that WAS card. Yeah, you pulled leadership, master of negativity. You a leader. And you a god. And you know what? I'm not getting no hate, but if you got haters out there, they can keep hating, but I'm not actually getting no hate. People actually are no longer hating. You done made people lay down their swords. People are showing respect now. Because hating on them ain't gonna get them. Hating on you ain't gonna get them nowhere. Ooh, y'all sick. God dang. Oh my God. Sick. This is at the bottom of the deck. I do feel like this is a warning. This is a warning. I'm gonna read the card. This is set. Set at the bottom of the deck. Limitations, restrictions, and loss. Okay. So Set, if you do not know who Set is, Set was the brother of Osiris. And as I was just talking about the Holy Trinity with Isis, Osiris, and Horus, Set actually killed his own brother, Osiris, and Horus fought Set, his uncle, to make sure he didn't get the throne. You know what I'm saying? To get the throne back in their family's name, because he couldn't believe his uncle, you my uncle, and you gonna do this to your own brother? Literally some Cain and Abel stuff. So the message is, somebody, you need to watch your back. It says limitations and restrictions and loss. Okay? You may be around somebody that you think is your brother or sister, because this is still symbolism, even though this particular situation was two brothers. You may be around somebody that you think is your friend, and you swore up and down this is your sister, and y'all solid, and they would never do some stuff to you. But yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will set your way. Let's ring the bell, okay? Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They can play a good role, just like that dude played a good role on Fred Hampton and with the Black Panthers. That man was the first person there and the last person to leave when their precinct got burned down in Chicago by the police department. He was there to help rebuild it, got all the supplies, because remember, he was getting help from the enemy. Nobody questioned how he was able to do all this back then at a very racist time, and he was just able. He had a nice car. He had too much, and they was like, "How he getting all this? Is he working with?" They didn't question that he was working. Some of them did, but that man was working with the enemy. And this also is the same thing in the spiritual realm, y'all. People can be working with bad, dark entities. You don't think somebody dumb enough to work with Set? Set is still a spirit. I ain't giving nobody no ideas, but you got to think, it's people out here that practice dark magic, and they will summon a god or a god or goddess, or like I said, some god that did some horrible things, just because they want something horrible done to somebody else, and they don't know what that entails either. Because this same God will use you for your soul and take your soul and kill you. You lost your body, and you had a physical life, messing with the wrong one. Don't do that. That's your warden. Don't do that. Don't think you're gonna get revenge by going to a dark God that did some horrible stuff in the past and think you ain't gonna pay. Alright? Don't do it. Anubis gonna F your way up, and my eye. Don't do it. Alright, so look, y'all, that was the message for today for the new moon. Like I said, I have a new service menu. I call it my menu. All right, I have a new service menu, so if y'all want to see that, y'all can email me for that. Like I said, I did post it on my Instagram page, and I tagged it at the top of my page and all that, Facebook and all that, so y'all can book with me. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna ring this bell, send this energy back to spirit. I hope y'all enjoyed the reading. All right, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, y'all. So until next time, happy new moon in Cancer, happy Cancer season, happy Mercury retrograde in Cancer, happy Jupiter day, happy Jupiter day, peace, love, and balance. Capricorn checking out.